Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. This is Funtan Daniel speaking in the beautiful state of Texas. Um it is a wonderful state, and it's a wonderful state, and we just want to thank our officials in the state of Texas, and I just want to thank the President of the United States in his message to the recent United Nations that just passed, and many of you may want to know more about me. I was born in the Southern Cameroon Territory. It's a territory that was formerly the British colony that we have been living alongside with La République, which is the French colony. We belongs to the British colony, and we have been living together for the past 56 years. We are two separate nations. Southern Cameroon got her independence in 1961, and La République got their own independence in 1960. But these two nations decided to pool resources together for the common good of both nations. And for the past 56 years, we have had two chief executives: the president, formerly Amadou Ahidjo, and secondly, we have Paul Biya. These two have shared a total of 56 years in the hem of the southern Cameroon and La République. And this has come to a point that neither the Anglophones has ever held the post of executive in this colony. And therefore, we have been living together for this system for this number of period, and we have come to determine that we will no longer have to live together. And so that is why you might be hearing me talking about these issues all over and over. So many of the Anglophones in the entire continental state of the United States and have given a deep appreciation for the United States President Donald Trump in his message to the United Nations. Many of you have watched the video, especially the Fox News, which aired the concern of the Southern Cameroonians in the United Nations. Many of you, if you haven't, I think I've also posted on my Facebook account about the journalists. We also thank the Fox News for airing such informations. And we also thank the rest of other stations and that have also aired similar informations. We also thank Al Jazeera that have also aired similar informations. We also thank the BBC, and CNN, and any others. So we have lived together to this period. It is difficult for us to find ourselves. We were brought up in Anglo-Saxon system of culture in terms of justice, in terms of political reforms, in terms of power sharing, in terms of equal justice. And this is the system we embrace, and we cherish this system, and we cherish this system with the Western society. When I talk of Western societies, I mean United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Germany. We believe in this factual system of government where powers are not concentrated in a single individual. Powers is transitions, because when power concentrates in single individuals, it becomes a brutal dictatorship. And therefore, we have found it difficult to live together with this system. Come on, go meet your grandma. Mommy, Gilda, one bit, please. Sorry for the interruptions. My little daughter. So anyway, as I was talking, so we have asked La Republique under the current president that was in the United Nations. I mean, many of you saw that he was addressing an empty seat in the United Nations, which means no leader will want to associate with such a brutal dictatorship of Paul Biya. So he was addressing the empty seat in the United Nations. I am so indebted to President Donald Trump for not inviting him to the White House for all head of state that were invited to the White House or for a dinner. So it is imperative. So we the Anglophones, especially most of us here in the United States, have drastically take this as a matter of urgency, and that we are taking this universally to support and separation of the Southern Cameroon territory. We have asked members of our parliament and that we want them to resign from La Republique because they are in La Republique. There is nothing that is worth being with La Republique. Because imagine, since December till now, there were many demonstrations ongoing in the Anglophone territory. La Republique Parliament has not in a single day called to ask what is ongoing crisis in the Southern Cameroon territory. The Anglophones speaking. There's instead some of the leaders of a parliament, including Barrister Mbandam, who is assistant deputy at the parliament, even called to address those issues. Instead, he was asked to keep his mouth shut. That we found it imperative that we no longer find La Republique admissible, that is a partner we can work together for the common good of both nations. So therefore, some of us here in the United States has taken this matter as serious. We have asked all of them to resign and return to Buea, which is the current capital of the Southern Cameroon territory. So many of them have followed suit. So we are notified that anyone from October 1st who failed to yield to this demand or resign, we will consider you no longer belongs to the Southern Cameroon territory, but you belong to La Republique. So this is very imperative that they take this as a matter of urgency. We are also calling the Southern Cameroon Governing Council, which is the main architects now that manage the Southern Cameroon territory till any further notice. So therefore, we have asked the members of parliament that have resigned that they should move to Buea, which is the current Anglophone capital. Once they move to Buea, they will form what is known as the Constituent Assembly. The Constituent Assembly will therefore work in collaboration with its governing council, and the details and those details shall be worked out with the Southern Cameroon Governing Council and those members of parliament that have resigned. So therefore, the members of parliament, you do no longer to separate. All of you need to work to live together, work together in group. None of you should work in the Southern Cameroon territory as an individual. Both of you should in Buea. And if you are going out, both of you should go out in groups. And both of you should live in a one group until any further notice. So therefore, right now, there is insurgency going on now. La Republique has dispatched troops to the Southern Cameroon territory. So we are calling the La Republique to peacefully withdraw all the troops that have been dispatched. I think La Republique hasn't learned a lesson for what happened to Gaddafi. La Republique hasn't learned a lesson what happened to Iraqi president. So we are serious about this, and we are notifying La Republique that we do no longer want this to become a serious matter of consequence. So therefore, we are asking you to peacefully withdraw your army in the Southern Cameroon territory. So any Southern Cameroonians that live, all the Southern Cameroonians, you do no longer take an order or instruction from La Republique, either the governor, the divisional officer, or any officials appointed by the Republic. Your instructions shall come from the local chiefs and the traditional council in your chief until further notice issued by the governing council. Before I proceed, I just want to thank again the White House, I just want to thank the U.S. Department of Defense. I want to thank the U.S. State Department. I want to thank U.S. Treasury Department. I want to thank U.S. diplomat in La République. I want to thank Canadian diplomat in La République. I want to thank the British diplomat in La République. I want to thank the French diplomat in La République. And I want to thank all the diplomatic corps in La République. We are making this clear because as from October the 1st, this means a few days from now, the Southern Cameroon will no longer take instructions from La République. The Southern Cameroon will take instruction from the Governing Council of the Southern Cameroon. And that is led by Seseko. He is the leader of the Governing Council. And so therefore, any instruction from La République will be considered null and void. This is a drastic measure that we are taking, especially all of us here in the United States. We have made this abundantly clear that the Governing Council shall work in collaboration with the Southern Cameroon Member of Parliament that have already tendered their resignations, and many of them have already done so as I'm speaking. So we are asking our diplomats to respect the sovereignty of the Southern Cameroon territory. We have determined that we have chosen to work together with La République, and we have come to these conclusions, and that the choice we have is to agree or sign a benevolent neutrality. Benevolent neutrality, which means we, the people of Southern Cameroon, no longer take order or instruction from La République. We shall take our instruction from the Southern Cameroon Governing Council. Remember, the Southern Cameroon Governing Council was here in the US. They started in Germany, they toured France, and they toured Belgium, and they landed in the United States. They end in the United Nations, where the last General Assembly was holding. So the people of Southern Cameroon has signed an allegiance that we no longer are going to accept any instruction or order from La République. So we are monitoring closely any attempt by La République to instigate or intimidate the people of Southern Cameroon. Any attempt by La République to carry on any shooting. So we are calling on La République to take this as a matter of urgency and respect the institution of Southern Cameroon and peacefully withdraw its troops. Ask all the governors been assigned to the Southern Cameroon territory, all the divisional officers that have been assigned to the Southern Cameroon territory, all the members of any officials appointed by La République to the Southern Cameroon territory, they are officially null and void and therefore do not have any active role to play in the Southern Cameroon territory. So it is imperative, as we relate this matter, we are also asking the United Nations that this is the measures we are taking, and we will do whatever it takes to protect our territory. And we are asking La République, it was a coming together. We were never a conquered territory of La République. We felt that if both of us work together and bring resources, we could be the benefit of interest. Instead, we were regarded as a colonial territory. And we have chosen these measures to protect our citizens of the Southern Cameroon and the future endeavor of our freedom. So we are closely monitored. So October 1st, there shall be demonstration, there shall be march past marking the first anniversary of the Southern Cameroon total separation from La République. So details shall be made available through the Southern Cameroon Governing Council and other groups that you may find. So while I'm speaking, I just want to give this communique. There is indication that La République have dispatched some troops in Ngouti, in southwest region of the Southern Cameroon territory. So we are asking La République, as a matter of urgency, that they need to look into this and withdraw those troops that have been dispatched, because we no longer want to see a genocide occur in our land. So it is imperative that you pull your resources, you pull your troops out of Southern Cameroon territory. We no longer take this as we are asking you to do this as a matter of urgency. And if you have any questions, you might forward it to the Southern Cameroon Governing Council, or you can contact the Southern Cameroon Governing Council Twitter at scacuf.org, the website, or you go on Twitter, scacuf. That's the Twitter account of the Southern Cameroon Territory. And until then, thank you for watching and have a good night.